long story short of how we got to this, I made a Facebook post, and this is where you guys are going to come into play later, and we'll tell you how. I made a Facebook post and I said, which one of you guys can help me find my biological father and possibly my siblings? And an awesome individual that's going to remain anonymous helped me out, and I gave her all the information I had, dug up all this information, led me to this guy. She said, you should probably check into this guy. So I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay. And then I realize, I'm like, wait a minute. I worked with this guy. I'm like, no, because I think I had a sister about the same age. Because we'll get into that part.
Right.
But so I'm under the impression that I had a sister roughly a couple months older than me in the same area. Okay. And which I was always terrified that I would accidentally meet my sister.
Yes.
And okay.
Yes.
Anyways.
Yes.
Okay.
You
And
get with
he
your
did
sister.
too. So I'm glad he's my brother. All right. So
Yeah.
so I look him up and I realize I know him already. So I sent him a message. I'm like, hey, hey, do you remember me? We worked at Domino's back in, the 90s and stuff. He's like, oh yeah, I remember you. And I was like, all right, cool. So I sent him a friend request. And he typically doesn't really accept them. He's not a big
Right.
Facebook guy.
Yeah,
so.
I don't Facebook a whole
But
lot.
for some reason, him telling his words, he looked into it. And I said, I have a very random question for you. And because I was thinking possibly it was that he was like the nephew or something of William C.
Yep.
Noble.
Yep.
All right. So I said, do you possibly have a relative uncle or something named William C. Noble? He goes by Chris. And he responds to me and says, no, but I have a father that I've never met named William C. Noble.
Yep.
And right then I was like, wait
He's
a
like,
minute.
bro.
I'm like, bro, wait a minute. I said, me too. Okay. And then so we're not convinced yet. And over the course of a few hours,
It took what? It probably took an hour total to really
to know.
figure it out.
And then when we did, I said, dude, no, we are brothers. There's no way around this. Okay.
Yep.
What solidified it was when your mom knew the story.
Yep.
That there's no way she could have known if this was not my brother. Okay. And I mean, you can see the resemblance. I got rounder face, but we're definitely for sure brothers. And after spending 48 hours with him, like,
We're definitely brothers.
What's your take?
It was crazy because like he said, I don't typically, respond to a lot of friend requests. I'm not real active on Facebook, and I'd seen it. So, I'd seen the request come through, and then he had messaged me, and he said, "Can I ask you a question or something?"
A random question.
A random question is how it was worded, and I'm like, "Yeah, sure." But then, my wife and I, we went out, got some dinner and whatnot, and came back home. We were about to chill, for the night, and I get on there, and then that's where the questions, we started talking back and forth, and of course, I'm like, I respond, and he's like, "Do you know so and so?" Like you said. And, I'm like, oh, yeah. And then when the question came up, I'm like, not to get too deep into that, but I've always kind of been like, oh, yeah, I don't know. So we're going back and forth, and it's like, we're asking questions, and it wasn't really lining up at first.
At first, it wasn't, yeah.
And we were comparing what we had or what we knew.
The tidbits of what we knew, because we didn't know much at all.
Really, not any.
Really, next to nothing.
We didn't know anything, but what we did have. He's
everything lined up perfectly.
Yeah, he's asking me these questions. I'm like, I've got an idea. I'm going to get on the phone with my mother, right? So I'm calling my mom, and I'm messaging him.
Simultaneously, as I messaged him, I'm calling my mom.
Yep.
And both of their stories were like identically matching up.
Yep.
And I said, dude, we are brothers. You're my brother.
Yep. And my mom ended up just rattling off an address that he had.
That I had, that my private eye dug up the exact address. His mom knew the exact address. And that was from 1980s, the 80s, 82, 70s, 80s.
That would have been it probably would have been in the late 70s because I was born in December of 79, right? So
I was born in May of 80.
so really a lot of this stuff was going on through 79 and
Yeah.
and
And that's how we knew because his mother contacted my grandpa and was looking for my mom because she was looking for our dad because they knew about each other somehow to say, hey, you know, I'm looking for him. I just had his baby, blase, blase. Gets hold of my mom. They talk briefly. And my mom has told me this story over the years where a lady, a younger girl, which your mom was like 18, my mom was like 21, called me when I was pregnant with you and said, I just had William C. Noble's baby,
or Chris,
a.k.a. Chris, a.k.a. Willie, Big
Bill,
Willie,
Big
Bill,
Bill.
Ill, whatever he's going by these days. And got it from Dad.
got it from Dad.
So my mom tells me this story, and she's like, and I think she had a little girl. So I'm thinking I have a sister a few months older than me. This is my sister.
Yeah.
So, and then your mom, and what'd you ask me? Go. You said my mom talked to your grandpa. So I'm like, hey, Mom, did the girl you're talking about talk to Grandpa? She said, yeah, that's how she contacted me. I'm like, we are brothers.
Yeah. That's when it really started to.
Really?
I'm like, oh, so this is legit.
Legit, yeah.
You know, and of course I'm trying to wrap my head around this. I think it was kind of crazy because, you know, I had a good day and out with the wife, and then, you know, all this comes up and it's like
42 years in the making.
But he had been working on it. You've been working on it for what, 24 hours roughly?
Yeah,
so
I posted on Thursday, and by Friday we're united.
Yeah,
literally.
But it was like, so it hit me like a ton of bricks. A ton of bricks.
I can say this: I don't think I've ever been more understood in my life. Like, just we spent the last couple like nights hanging out and stuff, and it's almost like hearing myself talk. It's been crazy.
Yes, it has been crazy.
It's been a good crazy. I do want to tell you guys this. So we have been, you know, a whole lot of stuff has come in the surface, and we're like, this is way deeper than we ever could have imagined, right? After talking with, so he met my mom, and she told him some stuff, and I actually heard stuff for the first time while my mom was telling him about it. And then when we left, my mom said, I want you to ask her one thing. Ask her how she met him. So he pulls over in the Jeep and everything, and is talking to his mom, and he's like, oh, yeah, how did you meet him? She said, I met him at church. And I started laughing. Like, that makes
sounds like
sense.
him.
That makes sense.
We think he had a type.
He definitely did. He's a textbook narcissist. But we'll get into that later. We won't spoil all the fun.
Right.
So, what happened after
that? She was saying she couldn't tell the difference in between the two. She says, I don't know who's talking. Like, who's talking here?
Because he had it on the speakerphone on the car radio.
Yeah.
And his own mom was like, I don't know which one's talking.
Yeah. Yeah, it was funny, but, you know, she had said that because his mom had said, you know, they met at the disco, right? And I'm like, well, I wonder if my mom went to this disco, or if she was one of however many women that might have met Billy, Chris, William, Jack, Jeff,
whatever
George,
he's going by,
at this disco. So, you know, when I call her, she's like, no. She said, I met him in church.
And he was with another girl at church.
At church. So yeah, he was sitting in front of my mother. With a girl, with a woman, girl or whatever, and hitting on my mother with this date that he has at the church with him.
So after talking with our moms and stuff, they both remembered another lady that was a potential either another wife that lived in Kentucky that already had a daughter. Named
it's spelled like Chalet, but I think from what my mom said yesterday, it's like Shelley.
Like her name could be Sheila, Shelley, Chalet. She would be approximately mid-40s. It's slightly more mature than us in age. She's not old because women don't get old. Right. Sis, if you see this, we love you, and you're just, you know, our senior. So, and this is where you guys can come into play. So, what we want to do is we don't do a couple things. We want to hunt down our siblings because we found out that, in the most literal sense, by the time our dad, children of William C. Noble, hashtag, by the time he was 24, he had anywhere from 3 to 4, 5 wives that kind of came to surface, but at least 2 or 3.
At least 3.
In several different states. And he had multiple women pregnant at the same time, and he already had kids, and he achieved this by 24.
Yeah.
Like, Dad was a go-getter.
Yeah.
So, but we put the pieces together like this is his career.
Yeah.
Like, so we want to track down and find all of our siblings because we've wondered for 42 years, like we knew we had them, but so I grew up an only child. So this is literally my only brother. I've been saying I'm going to go hang out with my brother, and it still sounds like Chinese to me.
It feels weird.
It is. So we're going to do 23andMe.
Yeah.
Right?
That's like one of the first things we're going to do. You get that.
Probably maybe even later if we have time. But anyway.
You just never know. Like, what if some of these siblings have already, they've already done it, right?
Yeah.
Because like in our situation, we have what little bit of information that we have, and I'm sure that, people are wondering, our siblings are
Just
probably
like
like,
us.
I wonder what happened, because, and who knows what stories that they could be getting, because our siblings, literally, their parents or their mother
was lied
probably
to
got
and
screwed
conned
over
and stole from. He was a habitual con artist.
Yep.
And when I asked it, he was very charismatic. So I was like, how did he get away with these? I was like, okay,
Yep,
we got it from Dad. Okay, so that's where you guys are going to come into play. So what we've decided to do is we're going to vlog the whole thing. We're going to record all the things. We're going to potentially, if our mothers agree, record their recollections and their stories and stuff about it. And we're going to share all this stuff and tell the story as it unfolds. And we got a lot of activities planned.
Yes.
Right, we're gonna build forts and stuff, but
Yep.
we got really cool activities that we want to share with you guys to take you on the journey, and we want you to potentially help us get it out there and find our siblings. So it can a couple things: bring them closure, help us with this process. It's going to give us the time to bond and do something together as brothers. This
Absolutely.
is my brother. It's my brother. We're brothers.
Brothers.
And also to take it bigger than us, we want to, through this journey, we want to show other people in similar situations that maybe have lost hope or have always wondered, that have lost siblings and stuff out there, that after we find them all, that it's possible for them. So we want them to see that it's possible, and then actually share it and get tips, tricks, and all that. A lot of you guys know I like to give a lot of tips, but how to find your siblings. We want to help people find their siblings and everything, and we just want to have fun with it.
Yeah.
And
it could bring closure to so many.
So many. And I will give you a little teaser, like just the stuff that we found out. This is a docu-series, blockbuster, crazy, epic, true, real life story in the making. Like the stuff that we uncovered in a very short period of time, it was mind blowing.
Yes.
And we just scratched the surface. And that was only based on a little bit of research from a stranger, and also 2 accounts from 2 different people, our mothers, from 42 years ago. Right. So there's, 42 years later, I can only imagine how, memory and everything. Yeah. But the crazy thing is their memory and their stories lined up so perfectly. Spot on. And
from addresses.
Yeah.
That's what kills me. Rattle off the address.
Yeah.
Like how...
And stories that we won't want to share yet, right?
Yeah.
Because my family is crazy. And his mom knew about the crazy stories. I was like, yeah, that's true. They did that. Okay, so... and for those that don't know, when we met Friday night in person, he's like, well, okay, where are you at? I told him as I come up, hang out, and I'm like, dude, I have his number. Let's call him. I call, he doesn't answer because he sees my last name. And after the stories, you're not forgetting my last name if you're him, okay? Because I have my mother's last name. So he picks up the phone and he doesn't say anything. I'm like, it's definitely him. Who does that? Hello, at least, wrong number. So I call him back again. Same thing. half
doesn't
hour.
hang up.
It does, yeah, for a while, like 10 seconds,
He
because he's
listens.
probably in shock. He's probably
Yeah.
like, what is going on? So the half hour or so later, it's like, dude, let's call him
Call him
again.
again.
So I put him on speaker and I call him, and this time he says hello. I'm like, hey, yo, Chris, what up, man? I think I got something that belongs to you, bro. I think I got your social security card or something. Just trying to get him to talk. He's like, this ain't Chris, it's the wrong number. And then hangs up, and then we're
just
dying
laughing.
laughing. Like, we meet 42 years later, and we get to prank call our dad together. That's
Yeah.
epic in
It's
itself.
insane. Yep.
But the last 48 hours, all the information we dug up from the moms and the information, then we noticed patterns. So we noticed patterns, and we tracked them down. We know his location right now. So William C. Noble, Chris, Bill, Willie, William,
Jeff, John.
whatever it is you're going by these days, we know where you're at. And we ain't really coming for you. We're coming from our brothers and sisters, man.
I think that's the big thing behind all this is like it's more about the siblings, right?
Yeah.
You know, what he did. I mean, without getting into that, I don't know. I don't have a use for the guy.
Yeah,
right?
I don't either.
And I think, like in this case, this has been an awesome.
This is all
awesome
I
thing.
ever wanted. So in my younger years, and we experienced the same thing, like the stuff that he did and said to my mom and trying to rip her off, I wanted to meet him to knock his teeth out for my mom, because did that to my mom. And then as I got older and wiser, I'm like, I've forgiven the guy. I want to go on record and say that. I don't have any ill will for him. I actually pray for the guy, because it's what a sad life. I forgive him, but we really want to do this for our siblings. And,
Yes.
and you was telling me you had the same thing. You wanted to,
Yeah.
and then finally just kind of gave it over.
Yeah, he's not worth my
not
time.
worth it.
He's
At
not
all.
worth me. He doesn't deserve us.
He knows-
is what I think.
And I've always wondered what my dad looked like. And I've never seen a picture. He's actually got to see a picture. Neither one of us have met him, but and he's exactly built like him, looks like him. I think when my mom
I was
looks
gonna
at him,
say, tell the story about when we showed up. What your mom said.
yeah, my mom looks at him and goes, "Yeah, you're built just like him. You look just like him." So for me, this is like getting a glimpse of seeing my dad. Now, I won't use that later. You're only 6 months older. So, so I'm the younger brother, as you can tell.
It was crazy. Just like so, when I show up to where we met at, and I was pulling in, and so we'll put this piece in here. So I leave the house, and of course, my heart's racing. I'm like, what am I doing? And is this? And of course, I've just locked down a lot of emotions and feelings and all this stuff. And so now I'm like, what am I doing? Am I doing the right thing? Whatever. So in that process, I had already taken my contacts out for the day, and I ended up taking off and going up to meet him. And so I'm pulling in, I'm looking at the GPS or whatever, and I'm like, okay, because I can't read the signs because I can't see them, right? And so I pull up around the corner, trying to find a parking spot. And as I come around, he's standing outside, and I point at him. I said, right there, because I was like, I know this guy.
Yeah.
Like, that's him.
Right away.
And so I park, and I get out. We meet halfway,
Yeah.
right? And it was insane because I look, and it's still,
Yeah.
every time I look
Yeah.
at him, I'm like, I'm looking in the mirror.
Yeah, it really is wild. So we're looking at each other, and I'm looking at him like, man, we're brothers. It's like the whole story lined up, and I can see it in here a lot, and like how in our mannerisms. And
Oh, yeah.
stuff. It's
Oh,
wild.
yeah.
Got it from Dad.
Got it from Dad. But yeah, it was a lot, and I found myself just staring because, for me, like, I never seen, and for him, we've never seen anybody on that side
Ever.
of the family.
Nothing.
And I think just the blessing that it's been for us. I mean, can you imagine like the next one, right?
Yeah.
And
then
we
the
get to
next
share
one
that
with
them.
them. They
And
get to feel what
they
we're
get to-
feeling.
Yes.
It's been
Yes.
an absolute roller coaster of emotion.
It's a lot.
Like,
it's heavy, and it's times like it brings up a lot of stuff from
so much.
childhood and all these these different feelings and the ups and the downs, and
in your whole life,
It's-
you wonder what this very day and moment's going to be like. You kind of picture, but you can't know, and then it happens, and it's like extremely surreal.
It's yes.
It's like surreal. Like it's all like I've been running on sheer adrenaline ever since. We stayed up late talking. I got up early. I had to go to work. And I stayed up late again last night. Got up early again, and it's been wild. I've
It has
experienced
been
so
wild.
many. I think a few times when I was by myself, kind of processing things, my eyeballs started to sweat a little bit
Yes.
from all the emotions. Okay, because men don't cry, our eyeballs sweat.
Our eyeballs sweat.
My eyeballs started sweating. I don't think I got that one from Dad because I don't think he has feelings.
He doesn't have
He doesn't even
feelings.
have a heart.
No.
Um,
It has been a lot.
it has been a lot, and you know it's crazy. It's like we're hanging out, we're talking, and there was never no like awkward silence or weird like stranger. Like we met briefly, but we were teenagers, and it wasn't like we was hanging out friends all
Yeah.
the time. We knew each other, but it wasn't. It feels like I've known you my entire life.
Right. It's like a connection.
Yeah,
That's
it's almost
the
like
only
we
way.
came from the same sack.
It's,
We came from the same sack. That's
Right?
hilarious.
it is, and that's what. If I could describe it anyway, it's like there's a piece that's
Yeah.
there's a piece of
To the
me.
puzzle.
Yeah, it's a piece of the puzzle
Yeah.
that fit in the story of me.
Yeah. Same.
You know?
Yeah.
That's and like you say, when we're not together,
Yeah.
because we've been together since we met.
Since like I was telling him, I said, man, my mom and stepdad, they go to my stepdad's side of the family in the holidays, like Christmas, Thanksgiving and stuff. And my son usually goes to his mom's, and I'm by myself. I've spent a lot of holidays alone, right? And I told him that. He's like, not anymore, brother.
Not anymore.
It's like I don't even really talk about it because my eyeballs will sweat.
Right.
But it's yeah.
We'll
Like,
open up to that later.
yeah, well, my life has completely changed for the better, and I was sharing with him. I told him, I said, up right before this, a couple weeks, like I was in a really weird spot. It's kind of isolating, and I was kind of getting semi-depressed, but kind of like just getting it from every angle, and just kind of feeling a little down and stuff. And I told him, I started fighting back, and I told him, I was like, every time that I go through a real hard time and I'm in this place, it's right before a major breakthrough, a major like level up, a major thing to go into my favor. And I knew I was about to step into something new and something good because the attacking stuff was so heavy on me. And I remember telling myself, I started declaring, like, telling myself that things are about to get really better for me. And I'm about to really break through, and doors and stuff are going to start opening up. I had no idea it was this door. This is
the barn door, brother.
This is the floodgates opening. So, what else? What else do we want to give them? Because we want to give them too much. We do have some epic plans that we're going to do soon, God willing, of course. That is going to be it's going to be awesome,
Yeah.
and we're going to document it, and we're going to share it with you guys. The way that you can help us, and eventually, hopefully, help others, and our siblings. Not our,
our.
because I'm mature.
You're mature.
I'm mature.
You didn't get that.
So when we share the stuff in the post, we're gonna do things on TikTok or whatever. We're gonna use every media outlet that we can to reach a broader audience, to hopefully get in leads and everything that we can do. So what you can do is, if you ever share any of our stuff, the hashtag is Children of William C. Noble.
Yeah.
And we're going to try to make the thing go viral so it sweeps the nation. And who knows, maybe he internationally traveled and did it. But anyways, we want to find our siblings. And what if we end up finding 50 siblings? Like, I'm not kidding you.
That's the crazy
the
part.
crazy part is,
You
it's
gotta
not
think-
out of the realm of possibility.
It is not.
It's really not, after what we've discovered.
Yes, and we will tell that story. But
Yeah.
I asked my mother just for a little bit of this here. I asked her. I said, "Well, how many kids do you think he had?" And she said, "Seriously, anywhere from 20 to 40." That was her response, and it's crazy to think that there could be another 18 to 38 of us out there, or
Even if it's only
whatever
10, it's still, you know?
Even one would be a lot.
Okay, so by 24 years old, this guy had multiple wives and multiple women pregnant at the same time and already had kids.
Yep.
At 24.
At 24, and you know he didn't stop.
He did not stop. He just got
So
better.
he got-
So, which brings up, I'll give you a little teaser. So I put all the information together, all his previous addresses and stuff. I noticed a pattern where he was, the two places he was primarily. And I also noticed a pattern. He moved around a lot. He didn't stay at places very long, and they were very expensive places, and usually places where like women and older people
Yep.
go when they're widowed or retired. They go when they got more money. They go to live, to retire. Who does he prey on? Vulnerable women.
Yep.
What does he do? He mooches off of them and robs them blind, or gets them pregnant, or marries them.
Yep. Marries him and then
He used
the
to.
whole thing.
Because now we got laws, and it's, you know what? People like him made child support come into effect. That's why all that stuff was made and created and
Right.
invented, because of people like
People-
William C. Noble.
who never paid a dime.
Dime.
To God only knows how many.
Yeah, and I don't want a dime from
I
a
don't-
guy.
yeah.
I just want to. We want to know our siblings.
That's what this is all about.
Yeah,
And-
and hopefully, people that have a similar experience, even if we're not connected, maybe we can help them, give them tricks, even if it's hope or
Yeah.
whatever.
Well, like for me, I'd always been like, it's there's a possibility of siblings and maybe uncles and aunts and grandparents from this other side, but I had never done anything with it.
Yeah,
And maybe
same.
some of that was just because of I kind of did find some closure with him, like I said
Mhm.
earlier, when I came to a point in my life where I realized he's not
He's
It's not worth it. He doesn't deserve who I am
Yeah.
and who I've become in this life.
And after you
I think-
suppress it so long, it's just
It's
your
normal.
normal life. We don't know any different. We
Yeah.
didn't know any different. I've always wondered, but like he said, it's just kind of
You just
it's
don't
just
know.
life, yeah. And just
But even so, like with this story, so people like me or siblings like me, it's kind of crazy. I think maybe have felt the same way, or
Oh, dude,
they may
had
not
to.
have a story or a decent picture, or maybe there was one where he stuck around a little bit longer who may have more information, or even
yeah,
just
we don't know.
we just don't know.
And I think when we dig into this and when we get going, I think it's going to take off. We're going to find out a lot, and a lot of shocking, like crazy, insane stuff. Because we already have.
We already have.
But when we actually find the documentation and the eyewitness accounts and we bring it forward, it's going to be wild.
It is going to be wild.
Stay tuned. Like, wow.
Yeah, it is going to
Yeah,
be
because
wild.
we was already like
Just mind blowing. And
so
it's-
many times in 48 hours.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. It's just been left and right, one thing after the next.
I
And then,
just drove to his house. It was a 10-minute drive.
yeah, we've lived 10 minutes apart, and I've been, with the exception of a couple years, I've been in the area this whole time. I could be at the place we work together in about 8 minutes.
Yeah. And 5 minutes from my house.
Yeah.
I've lived in Dayton for 42 years.
Yeah. And here we've been this close this whole
Even
time.
crossed paths.
We work together.
Yeah,
Now, like, how crazy is that in itself? We work together, but I don't know. It's going to be an interesting journey to
It
say
is.
the least.
It is.
I mean, it may be. I'm sure there's going to be some tough times where we're talking about things that emotions and feelings resurface, because I've already found myself like.
Yeah.
Just these heavy moments
Yeah.
of, the what ifs, and then just, again, it's like time travel. It just brings, some things
So
come
much.
back, some feelings come back, and these questions, and then, I was lucky enough to have, stepbrothers, and a stepbrother and two stepsisters, and they are my brother and sisters. That's who they are to me. I was blessed for that, but like you said, with coming up and not
Yeah.
having that, just those pieces and of course,
I've always wondered what it's like.
yeah, without getting too deep into all that, you always wonder.
Yeah.
You wonder, like, I never met my dad. What if he had kids? My mom said he was doing this and he was doing that, but what if?
Yeah.
And then
and I'm an uncle. Hello.
Yeah.
I have 2 nieces,
Yeah,
and I don't want to even say this part. I have 3
great nephews.
great nephews. Old Pat Paul over here.
Old Pappy.
Old Pappies. Well, you are a papaw,
I
so
am.
I'm just
I
a
am a
great
papaw.
uncle.
Yep.
Great. Let's
Yep.
emphasize the great part.
Yeah.
But anyway, and he is an uncle, so
Yep.
we found that out. So not only do we all of a sudden it's like Insta Family. Like
Yes.
that's a movie in itself. I think
Yes.
they made a movie
Yes.
Instant Family, but this one's a real life true story.
It is a true story, and we're going to have a small get together, and we're try to mingle the families together, and I've put it out there, and I think we did with your mother as well, that maybe our mothers are going to meet, and maybe talk about the situation, and really, I mean, I don't really know how they feel about it, but there may be some closure there too.
I think so.
Or some answers,
Yeah.
or that light bulb moment that we've had one after the next.
What I noticed by listening to his mom when we were talking with her on the thing, I was like, man, her mannerism and just like how she is, like I could tell, see so much of my mom and her because of the type of people that they are.
Yeah.
You tell she's probably seemed like a very
Super nice.
tender,
Yes.
sweet,
Yes.
kind-hearted. That's how my mom is.
Yep.
My mom was very naive, but not after that.
Right.
And it was. I could see a lot of similarities. So
Yes.
our dad definitely had a type that he preyed on.
Yes. Especially picking them up in church.
Yes.
I mean, that's swinging for the
Churches,
fences.
disco, it didn't matter. And he was always in between jobs.
Yep. Yep.
His
Always-
jobs were women and getting them knocked up and marrying them.
Yep.
So he could rob them.
Yep. Talk them out of money. It was always a situation. From what we've heard, it was always something.
Always.
You always needed something, or
Or it's always I'm in between this, or this person did this to me, or they're trying to do this. It's
Yeah.
always everybody else.
there's been all these stories.
Yeah.
Of that he was given to these different women.
These are just
And then-
the accounts from our 2 moms.
Yeah.
Imagine
Yeah.
when we find the other ones,
Yeah.
like the craziness. It's
Right.
just unfolding.
And it probably just gets
Yeah.
deeper and deeper and deeper.
And the pattern of all the information that I have supports our theory that he never stopped.
Yeah. And he's 60.
He's 66.
So even at 66,
Still doing it.
where he is
where
now,
he is,
it-
it all makes sense.
it falls right in line with the
Everything.
pattern.
The whole thing.
Yeah. It's
It's
it's mind blowing.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's wild.
This is going to be a journey.
It
and
is.
hopefully that, maybe with us sharing it, I mean, it's going to, well, truthfully, it puts me in a position where I'm going to be open when times where I'm usually not, but I'm doing it for the good of our siblings and probably for us as well.
And possibly perfect strangers, man, to show that it's possible, man.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, he was called to reach out and start this, and then I didn't just delete the invite or the messages and friend requests. But anyway, I I know it's hard. It's almost hard to speak.
It really is.
Because it brings up this, like, for me now, I have this fire, this sense of I really want to do this.
Yeah.
I'm going to put myself out there and talk about this throughout our journey. And like he said, in hopes that maybe there's somebody else out there with a different story, a different deadbeat father, con artist, that maybe they will start asking their friends, or they'll look into their family and maybe find that there's so much more to the story. Find closure, find love, and their siblings and new family. I mean, because maybe there was a different situation, right, where their father wasn't a con artist, and they find out that there's this whole family, that maybe there was just something where maybe somebody died or something. You know, and then they're able to.
And they find it all out and bring some closure. And
it's like you said, it's like watching Netflix.
It really is. Like and
Our Father.
It is about to get it's about to get wild. I'm telling you. We've left a lot out because we didn't want to give you too much, and plus it's just so much to unpack.
It really is.
But so what this has done for me in a very short period of time, it relit my fire again. Like, I'm excited about something again. Like, my life was kind of becoming stagnant. I was kind of just in my feels, or I was just in a slump for a minute, and just hoping and waiting for a breakthrough. And then this came about, and I'm like, and I've been having trouble even sleeping. I've been for the last 48 hours, just straight adrenaline. And, but this has really given me a new sense of like just purpose and urge, like just so much. I don't even know how to say it. And usually I don't get a lot for words, you know, but I'm sure you can relate.
Yes, I can relate. Yeah. But it definitely has. It's a lot of adrenaline for sure. Yeah. Just the brain runs, and I'm pretty sure we got ADHD from our father. I mean, we definitely
could have been twins. If we didn't have different moms, we would have been twins.
Yep.
See? 48 hours later, we say the same thing. We've done this several times over the weekend where we say the same thing and finish each other's sentences in sync.
Did we just become best friends?
So many activities. We're going to bring you guys along on our activities, and I'm telling you, we're both, safe to say, we're charismatic. I have always been a clown, and we're a little wild, but still reserved.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Got it from Dad.
Got it from Dad.
Okay, so is a recap. Did we just do it again? Okay.
Non-stop.
Oh, man. Shake and bake.
Shake and bake. That's another thing,
yeah.
We're the same person.
Yeah.
We're definitely the same person.
We're going to build a fort after this. Yeah. So many activities. Okay, so, and we want to share the activities with you guys and the journey with you. We're just getting started. We're literally, we were brainstorming about GoPro. We're going to vlog this whole thing. And we're going to make this a thing for multiple reasons. Plus, it's going to be fun.
Yes.
Hello, we're two big kids.
Right.
I told him, I was like, dude, I'm a huge kid. I'm a big kid. He's like, yeah. I'm like,
right.
And he's like, are you ADD? Where you? I'm like, dude, am I? I get so bored with stuff easy. Like, I am always been rambunctious and just
lots of hobbies.
Yeah, hobbies, hobbies and activities and all kinds of stuff with my brother. So,
it's so crazy.
It is.
It's so crazy. But anyway, hopefully you find a little joy in this as well, and I'm happy to share the story with everybody.
Yeah. There's more announcements, more stuff to come. Yeah. If you guys share this stuff, hashtag Children of William C. Noble.
It's Noble. Yeah, okay. And maybe if somebody sees that, I mean, you know. Yeah, I guess it is kind of a common name, but
he went by Chris. No, anybody that's come in contact with this guy and has a story about him, they're not going to forget.
They're not going to forget.
They're not.
So maybe if somebody sees the hashtag, or
somebody shares it, or it could even be like a cousin. So I have a lot of cousins, and they know my story about it. So it could be somebody that our siblings, family member that's like, wow, that was Aunt Judy's situation, or baby daddy left, or whatever. She went through that, and the guy, that was his name, and that's little. Well, we would be 40. That's Susan's or Sheila's brothers. That was their dad. I gotta tell her.
Yep. And then they'll send the videos, or they can just search the hashtag, and then whatever we put out there, they're able to click on and find.
Make it go viral.
Yeah.
We're gonna build we're gonna build forts, activities, TikToks,
YouTube videos,
YouTube.
Yep.
And
then maybe we can get in a regimen of posting on certain days.
Yeah.
Or maybe on Sundays we get on and
this is like hearing me talk. I'm like, dude, are you in my head?
And that way you guys can tune in and you can look and you can, obviously comment and share this. And we will go through the comments after. I'm sure there's some in here we can't see them right now, but we'll go through these. And
we've established we're both super ADD, so bear with us.
So if you comment, or you may know something or know somebody or know of somebody where the story aligns with theirs, share this. Put it in there. We will read the
share
comments.
this live now. Share this.
Yeah, put this out there. Share it. And that's another thing. So we're in the Dayton area. So if you don't know, we're in Dayton, Ohio. And a lot of this stuff happened right here.
Yeah. A lot of it happened here. We believe he was born and raised possibly in Kentucky. He did live in Kettering, Ohio. And I know after us, he's lived in the Nevada, Las Vegas, and Nevada area, and also all
New
over, possibly New York too.
Yep.
And a lot in Florida. So over the recent 20-so years, whatever, it's been a lot of Nevada and Florida.
Yeah.
A lot, like all over the place.
Yep.
But
there's a lot, and there's a lot that, if we have siblings, they could be right here.
Yeah,
So,
they could be here, they could be in Kentucky, they could be anywhere.
Yeah.
They can even grow up and actually leave their hometown, unlike us losers.
We just stick around. Yeah, but thanks for tuning in.
Yeah,
share this, share this,
share. If
whatever.
You commented, I'm sorry. We'll try to respond after this is over.
Yep.
You can even hit replay. Just help us go viral. Help us find our siblings. Help us help other people. Bring closure and enjoy the ride.
Yep.